Yeah, so when a lot of y'all are saying good morning, we're saying good night because we're going home and we're on our way to bed, hopefully. So, how many of y'all are deprived of your bed at night due to working? How many of y'all are working on that third shift, that graveyard shift? Come on in, let's talk about it. So, yes, I work overnight, and let me tell you, working overnight is not for the weak. It is not for the weak. Let me tell you, I don't care how long I work that shift, I cannot get used to it. I've been working overnight for, I think, like the past 4 years now, and the more I work it, the more my body is just screaming out, just, girl, stop doing this to me. Look, I love being in my bed at night. I love being in my bed at night. I love my sleep. And having to get up out of my bed to go into the job and force myself to stay awake for a whole shift when I know I'm supposed to be in my bed, it's not working out for me. So I know that I can't just, it's not possible for me to just hop onto another shift because it doesn't work like that. But, I just want to talk about um, how it is to be a third overnight worker. Um, Working overnight is something that I know I cannot get used to it. Some people love it, they're used to it. I love the shift. It's quiet. A lot of times it's more peaceful, less people coming in and out. But to me, you can't get a price. You just cannot put a price on getting good rest. And on this channel, one of the things that, you know, we that I have included in, the things that we're going to talk about is doing what we need to do to get better health. And for me, rest is important. Um, a lot of times we might wonder, those of us that work overnight, we wonder why when people work overnight they start to gain weight. Well, there's a reason for that. Um, our bodies produce a hormone called cortisol. I'm not going to get all deep down into it, but our bodies produce cortisol. It's a hormone. It's a stress hormone. Our bodies produce it when our body feels like it's under stress. So when you are tired and your body knows that you're supposed to be sleeping, our bodies are made to a certain rhythm. It knows that it's supposed to be awake and alert during the day, and it produces cortisol for that matter. That you know helps us feel awake. And then uh, there's another hormone that our bodies produce. When it knows that we should be taking it down and getting ready for sleep, getting ready for bed. So it's the melatonin that our body produces for us during the nighttime hours. So when we don't lay down and rest, when our body knows that we should and we're tired and we're forcing ourselves to stay awake, our body is sending out the cortisol. And what cortisol does, uh, it makes our body store up fat. And long story short, um, because it's a stress hormone. Our body is saying, look, I'm under stress, so I don't know what you're about to do, but I'm about to store up this fat so that, we don't suffer. So a lot of times that is some of the cause of why we begin to put on weight when we working overnight. And I know that our sleep patterns are horrible. A lot of times, I know when I get off, a lot of days I can't just go straight to bed. It's like I have to wind down um, before I could even, get myself together, go through all the formalities before I could go to bed. And some days when I get off work, I have things to do, as you do. We're wives, we're mothers. We have things to do during the days, and we cannot always sleep the day away. So there's even more of a lack of sleep, a lack of rest. During the nighttime when our bodies are supposed to be resting and sleep, that's when our body regenerates itself. That's when our body heals itself. And when we deprive our bodies of that, things start to go haywire. Our health suffers. And it's just the way that we eat. A lot of times, sometimes we get off work, we too tired to even eat breakfast. By the time we wake up, you might just want to grab something, and then, not to mention, while we're at work, just to keep ourselves alert, a lot of times you want to munch on something when you're working overnight. I don't. I'm sure a lot of you can agree, and put that in the comments. Talk to me, y'all. Tell me how y'all feel about working overnight. Those of you that do, and let me know in the comments, what do you do to stay awake while you're working overnight? I know before I um, got on a journey to better health, uh, Doritos was my thing of choice. That was something that I needed to crunch down on, something that helped me feel like, it just helped me feel better, y'all. It helped me feel better. I needed my coffee. It was my routine on my way to work. I would stop in to get my cup of coffee. And I can't drink it black. So therefore I'm loading it up with sugar. I'm loading it up with vanilla, French vanilla creamer, you know. And sometimes I would even get a meal. Like I'd get a sandwich or some kind of sub or fast food. So we're taking in these things overnight when our bodies should be busy regenerating itself, and um, we're putting more food in it, more food that our body needs to digest when it should be uh, healing itself by then. So there's different things that we go through that cause us, not only women but men as well. When you work overnight, it does things to your bodies. So I just wanted to come on here just to talk about it, because I don't think people realize the things that we all go through as third shift employees, people that work that graveyard shift, and the effects that it has on our bodies. So I hope that in the future, well, I'm not even going to say I hope, I'm going to say that in the future, I will be going back to day shift, because it's better for my health. I was out of work for a few months due to medical reasons. And I learned that when I am able to go to bed at a decent time and get rest every night, my it was better for my body. I have hypertension, and I even noticed that my numbers were a lot better when I was getting rest. And when I went back to work, I can see the numbers creeping back up. So at that point, I said, no, 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 this has to change. So I made up in my mind that the first opportunity that I get, I will be going back to days, because this nighttime stuff is not for me anymore. So, that's what I wanted, just to come on here and just, talk about what it's like to work third shift, what it's like to have to wake up out of your bed in the middle of the winter, in the snow, in the rain. It doesn't matter. You got to get up out of your warm bed and go to work. So, if any of this video resonated with you, anything that you could use and apply to your own self, and that you can agree with, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It's going to help me a lot. So until the next time, you all be blessed. Be blessed.